Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome on the Culture News. My name is David Serero, and I have the pleasure today to have over the phone a very important director. His name is Mr. Perry King. Mr. Perry King has done a lot of great things, and one of his most recent and successful achievement is this wonderful drama Western movie called Divide, D-I-V-I-D-E. Divide. Go to check that movie. The movie was released very successfully in movie theaters, and now it is released digitally right in January 2020. So what a perfect way to start the new year, ladies and gentlemen. Right now over the phone is the wonderful Mr. Perry King. Perry, how are you today?
Fine, David. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate your time. So, first of all, congratulations for all your achievement. Congratulations for all that you have done, for these great movies that you have brought us, and these beautiful, important stories that you are showcasing and bringing to people. So, first of all, I would love to know, how this movie, The Divide, was brought to you? How were you involved with this movie?
Well, David, I've been an actor my whole life for 50 years now, and I've been in, I think, altogether maybe 100. I think that's what IMDb tells me, about 100 projects, movies, TV projects, miniseries, series, a lot of theater over the years. Among other things, I've done a lot of radio acting. Actually, I'm only the second of three actors to ever play Han Solo in Star Wars. I did Han Solo for all the National Public Radio versions of it. We did, I think, altogether 16 hours on the first three movies. And so I've been an actor my whole life, but I always wanted to make a movie myself. I always wanted to direct and really control from start to finish a project myself. So I've been working at this for many, many years, actually. And I own a cattle ranch up in Northern California, where I play at being a cowboy. And so we set the movie on a cattle ranch and set it in 1976. And it's about an old cowboy whose life is really disintegrating. He's captured by drought in many ways, not only the drought of his land, because it's set in 1976 because that was the last big drought in California up to 2015 when they had the next biggest drought. So 1976, a huge drought of his land, his whole ranch is collapsing. Then his family's in drought. He's estranged from his daughter. His wife has died. There's a tragedy back there in his life that you learn more about as the movie goes on. And then finally, the drought of his mind. It's in part about a man who's suffering from Alzheimer's, but at a time when nobody knew anything about that condition. Back in 1976, Alzheimer's was not a phrase or a term that anyone used, and really, people would say, somebody's senile, or he's losing it, but there was no science behind it. You were on your own. There was no understanding at all. I mean, today Alzheimer's is a horrible disease, but at least there's sympathy and understanding and some help out there for it. That wasn't true back in 1976.
Wow.
So what we were able to make was a very, in the best sense, an old-fashioned movie. I like to describe it as an old-time movie for all the people like me that miss the old-time movies, miss the way movies used to be. But it's a movie that tells a very modern story, really, about somebody with Alzheimer's. His family's trying to help. And my greatest joy in this movie is every time I see it in a theater. I've seen it at lots of festivals, and we won a whole lot of awards. I think out of 14 festivals, we won 9 times. We won some version of Best Picture or Best New Movie or Best Western in 9 out of 14 festivals. But in any case, at the end of the movie, I look around and always a good big chunk of the audience, maybe half of the audience, is crying with a smile on their face. So that's my favorite part about it. So I feel like after 50 years of acting, I've finally done something right. I finally did something that I really like.
You're
really
very
happy
honest,
with.
because you did a lot of things. I introduced you today as director because I really want to talk about that movie Divide, but you are really a legendary actor, and you've been
thank you. And I'm happy to be described as a director. Believe me, that was my greatest ambition. So I love that.
No, but you really brought so much to the I would say the American screen culture. I would say because you worked a lot in television, but also a lot in movies. And how many times have I watched the TV series Melrose Place? Watch your wonderful character Haley Armstrong. If I remember correctly, that he was really a good character. And in those days, people have to remember, we were shooting television not the same way we're shooting it now. We do an episode in a week. In those days was kind of very, very different. And people who were doing it at that time are the most versatile actors you could ever find, really. And you've been in a lot of wonderful TV series, The Quest, Captains and the Kings, which was a mini TV series. You were back even in the 70s. You did a lot of wonderful projects, and I invite people to know more about yourself. Of course, also The Day After Tomorrow, one of the best movie ever. You were in that movie also. Mandingo, Class of 1984, etc., etc. So you really have this beautiful, iconic American actor place, and I really, really admire you for it.
Thank you, David.
No, really, really. So this movie is really beautiful story. Now tell me, you shot in a little bit, I would say, in an unusual way, because if I watch this beautiful trailer that is available on YouTube, you put the Divide trailer, you will see everything is in black and white. Where that desire?
We shot it in black and white. It was always my intention to make a black and white movie. Even when I was in my 20s and first starting out, I love black and white. I feel it's the most beautiful way to make a movie. John Ford, the great American Western filmmaker, he said black and white photography is real photography. He too loved it, and felt that's the way it should be. For me, black and white, when you shoot something in black and white, you watch the people and the shapes and the picture much more clearly. Color, for me at least, always makes it harder to really see what's going on. But I'm so proud of the photography. We won a number of awards for the photography in this film.
It is gorgeous.
It was.
And you must like really a lot of the French photographers like Robert Doisneau or Willy Ronis, because the way you really use, the way you portray the landscape made me think a lot of these guys, the French photographers after World War II in the 50s, 60s. It's really, really beautiful. And the way you really captured, I would say, even the night scenes or the interior scenes is absolutely phenomenal.
The night stuff was so exciting to do because technology has advanced so far. It's amazing. There's a scene in that film early on in our film, The Divide, that is shot entirely with the light of a flashlight. An old flashlight.
Wow.
And that's all the lighting there is. And so while we're shooting the film, I'm holding it at one point, and then my co-star, an actor named Brian Kaplan, who's wonderful in the movie, is holding this flashlight, and we're lighting ourselves in the David, we had so much fun shooting this movie. I've never had so much fun as a showbiz guy in my life. Every day was just joyful. We had a lot of trouble. I mean, but even the trouble was exciting. Northern California, is always fighting fires in the summer. And at one point, we had to shut down our shooting for 2 days because fires were all around us and you could hardly breathe on the set. And the heat was enormous. Wow. I think I said that we shot it on my own ranch, my own
Yeah, absolutely.
that I own up.
So you felt at
home.
home.
Everything you see on that film is my ranch, which was also just so much fun to do, to use your own property as the location, you know.
Well, I will come definitely to if I'm going around, I come definitely to spend a couple of days out there, because it must be so much relaxing.
Good.
I understand why the people who live in your area are so nice, is because once you live there, you brought to really nature. You're not spoiled yet, like we are in New York. We don't have one minute of patience at Starbucks when we're waiting for a coffee. You know?
Well, I used to live in New York, of course, as an actor in the early 70s. I went to Yale, studied drama, went to Juilliard in New York, studied and started working. But I have to say, I'm an outside guy. You know, I'm always happiest when I'm outside, and the world of the outside is so much more available to you when you live on the West Coast in California.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely go there. So also I want to say something, that you are a Golden Globe nominee. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is really something, doesn't happen every day to everyone. So you definitely deserve it. You have, as I said, Levi Quace, who is a Tony Award winner, also in your movie. Beautiful performance in the movie. So the one question before we start to say goodbye to each other, how was it for you as an actor who had such a versatile, you played every kind of roles. You played the bad guy, you played the good guy, you played the big figure, you played the weak guy in the movie, you played everything, So for an actor, for you, who has such I would say, a large panel of colors in your acting, how does it feel to be a director where you basically have at some point to decide one take, to choose one take? How does it make you feel?
Well, I felt actually, of course I was very concerned about going into this, because it's very difficult to direct yourself. Everybody looks at Clint Eastwood movies and it seems so easy for him, but it's not. He's just so damn good that he makes it look easy. It's very schizophrenic directing yourself. You have to constantly be splitting your brain in half, watching yourself and everybody else, and at the same time playing the part. But I had so long to prepare for this, because I've been working on this film and the script with my partner and screenwriter, Jana Brown. We've been working for years on this. So that meant that I had a long time to prepare. So I did get to the place where when we finally started shooting, I actually felt ready to shoot. So many times in my career as an actor, I felt as if I wasn't ready really until the thing was over, But in this case, I really felt able to say, roll camera, and I knew exactly who the character of this old man was that I wanted to play. And it was very satisfying. I've been incredibly lucky, and it really is luck. I've made a living doing something I love for 50 years, and that's just good fortune, and any actor will tell you that it's.
But it's not just
to end up with something at the end of my life with something that's my favorite thing. It's just, God, I feel so lucky about that.
Exactly.
Sorry,
and I hope you will not end your career now, that there are more and more projects, that there is another movie that you will direct also.
Well, I do have some ideas. You bet. I've got some ideas. We'll see what I could do. But
it doesn't come just with hard work. You also have a wonderful personality, and all your colleagues are only saying great things about you. So it goes both. You have to be great in front of the camera, but also when there is not, when the camera is not rolling, and we can tell right away that you are the nicest guy to have around. So that explains such a longevity and such a success. So, my dear Perry, it is unfortunately time to say goodbye to each other. What a pleasure to have you over the phone. What are you doing next?
David. It's a great pleasure for me.
What is the next
My next gig? Well, at this point, it's all about trying to get an audience to see the film, telling people that we've created film for anybody who misses the old movies out there, and get it out there. But the next gig is going to be exactly what you said. I've got an idea for a film that I'm pitching to people right now. Another film. In this case, I would be just the director, not an actor in it. And in some ways, that might be even more thrilling. Certainly.
Wow. I love how you say. I love how you say. I'm going to be just the director. Like it's a lot to be the director.
You're so right. Oh God, you're so right. Because it was just 24 hours a day, every day.
I know. It was just 24 hours a day, not 25 hours a day, just 24.
Yeah, you don't even have time to. When you're directing, it's amazing how busy you get. You don't have time.
Yeah.
You have to just grab and wrench yourself away from the set to go to the bathroom. It's amazing how hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really,
sure.
how much fun.
So, my dear Perry King, thank you so much for being with us today. My name is David Serero. I had the pleasure today on iHeartRadio to have the very talented, thank you, the legendary actor Perry King, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most versatile actor you can find around. He did so many movies and participated in so many TV series, including a lot of my favorites, Melrose Place, which was seen all over the world. And I remember back in France, I was watching it. So now to have you in New York, over the phone is a big treat for me. It is.
Thank you,
go to watch this great movie. It's released by the end of January digitally. This phenomenal movie.
Let me tell everybody David. Let me tell everybody the website, so they'll get a sense of it. And the website is thedividemotionpicture.com. 4 words. thedividemotionpicture.com. And we'll announce that as of the 21st of January, we're going digital on all the platforms.
So you heard it from the master himself. The Divide Motion Pictures. Go to watch this phenomenal movie. Go to purchase it. Go to put the word around. If everyone is listening to this interview, put a little word out there on Facebook. Share the trailer. It will be really, really amazing. I want to see that movie purchased by everyone who is listening, because I want everyone to know that Perry King needs to do more and more and more movies. More music to follow up on iHeartRadio. Stay tuned.